Hey guys, check this out. It's my new house, Solstice. Because Nick and I are frame builders, and with the help of 3D printing, I can design any hardtail geometry I want. We also have access to some of the nicest parts on Earth. So, what do I choose to ride? The 130mm Steel Solstice. This Solstice is actually the third iteration. The first version was actually the very first project that I worked with Nick. This bike doesn't even have 3D printed parts. The second version was a mullet with 29-inch front wheel and 27.5 back wheel. This was a fun and playful bike, but not very versatile. Next, we created the Hummingbird, our first model to feature 3D printed parts. It has a versatile geometry and quickly became our most popular bike. The final version of the Solstice is full 29-inch wheels and a much bigger, burlier bike. The secret to the Solstice's geometry is a high stack, slack angles, but short 130mm travel fork. The fancy steel tubes also flex, which gives more grip and comfort. In my opinion, that combination makes a very versatile hardtail. The geometry gives you the confidence while the short travel prevents you from doing stupid things. We don't like to design hardtails as cross-country bikes or full suspension replacements. We just design them to be good mountain bikes. In my 20s, I had fewer responsibilities, so I rode more fearlessly. Now, I still enjoy pushing the limits occasionally, but I like finding the flow state on a trail, pumping backsides of features, or just being outside with friends. I think any hardtail is a great companion for that style of riding. There are a few things about my setup that I think some of you might find helpful. Let's start with the fork. I have a Fox 36 that is lower to 130mm of travel. That makes it stiffer and lower friction compared to a Fox 34. The most particular thing about my setup is the stem and bars. I run a riser stem with a 40mm rise bar, but I have very few headset spacers. Doesn't the riser stem and bar get canceled out by the low headset spacers? Well, this is actually a trick. It gives me a long reach to the grips, a high stack, while keeping my wheelbase tight. So here we have my setup. We have 0 saddle to bar drop, and the rider compartment is 666. Let's go to the other extreme. Let's say we had a 15mm riser, and then we wanted to bring the handlebars back up with spacers to the same height. So now we see the bar is at the same height, but the reach came in by 7mm. The original reach was 666, and now it's 659mm. Keep in mind, everyone has a different riding style and fit, so there is no perfect setup. This video is sponsored by Hardtails. If you like hardtails or ride them, please subscribe. Hand ergonomics are also really important to me. I use TRP slate brakes with Freedom Coast levers. I like the shape of Shimano levers, but TRP brakes have better modulation. This setup gives me the best of both worlds. I can wrap my first knuckle onto the lever. That helps me relax my grip and reduce arm pump. Also, I know it sounds dumb, but this E13 dropper lever is my favorite part of all time. Usually, dropper levers are an afterthought, but this lever is spring-loaded and super stiff. It has great ergonomics, and I really like using it. Finally, I have a lot of wrist issues from computer work. I have tried many different grips, and the Deity knuckle dusters are by far the best. The mushroom flanges collapse as you hold onto them, so the grip actually feels pretty soft. I grew up in Los Angeles, and that actually affects my bike setup in two distinct ways. Southern California is very loose and rocky, so I like to run big 29 by 2.6 tires. The other aspect about living in a desert is that it is hot. That is why I make a significant effort to maximize the amount of water you can carry in the front triangle. It's not a coincidence that the front triangle just has room for a 24-ounce water bottle. Also, all of our frames have a bottle bracket, which angles the water bottle bolt out of the seat tube. This allows you to insert a dropper deeper into the frame. Let me show you in Fusion 360. So here we have two models of seat tubes. One is a traditional with bottle bosses, and the other is our bottle bracket. We slide the seat post down. In the traditional design, it'll hit the bottle boss. This prevents you from running a deeper dropper and is a problem on the smaller frames. Now with the bottle bracket, because we pull the boss outside of the seat tube, we can go a lot further. We can go all the way down to the second boss. And that's an extra 65mm of insertion depth. So that's the difference between a 200mm dropper and a 150mm dropper. The interference between the water bottle bolt and the dropper post is the reason why a lot of hardtails don't come with a second bottle. And that's a shame, because water capacity is a huge advantage of the hardtail over a full suspension. Everything else on this build is unremarkable. Shimano SLX, external cable routing, an or-not seat bag with a spare tube, and a frame pump. This chubby Solstice ain't the lightest hardtail in the world. Compared to full suspensions on technical terrain, it's not nearly as fast. My favorite part about owning this bike is that I am satisfied with it. I don't feel the need to keep pushing my limits or buying the latest and greatest tech. Just pump up the tires and go mountain biking.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you like what I do, please subscribe. It takes you just 1 second and it really helps me out.